the new chapter that's going to be cell, the unit of life. It's also called as the cell structure of your HC textbook. So we'll move ahead with this new chapter. Any like actually two chapters, it is respiration and photosynthesis are very hand in gloves, बहुत ही similar होते हैं वो. लेकिन before I go ahead with photosynthesis chapter, थोड़ा सेल के बारे में आइडिया आपको आना चाहिए. Of course, majority of you all are going to have done this in your lower standards. क्या हो गया? Voice is lagging. My voice is lagging.
No, it is fine, ma'am.
बराबर है.
Then can we please check your connection? Oh, thank you. So where was I? Huh. So here, what are we going to talk about is cell. I think majority of you all have already known about this cell structure in your lower standards. I think so 9th या 10th में ये chapter है, but इसको 11th में भी हमें वापस एक बार देखना है. So we can. It's simple. It's easy. One of the easiest topics of your 11th standard syllabus. But this year on this particular chapter, there were 9 questions that were asked in your NEET exam. This year, ये साल में 9 questions पूछे गए हैं. So we have to be serious with this chapter. We cannot neglect this chapter, and we have to ensure that each and every word that we are understanding उसमें से questions बन के आ सकता है. So be very careful with this. अगर किसी को कोई point नहीं समझ आए, please feel free to ask me, as we have been doing for so many months now, right? So we go ahead with cell, unit of life. Yeah.
This chapter is to be written in botany or zoology book.
I didn't get you.
No, ma'am, you told us to make 2 books, one for botany, one for zoology. So like that, this chapter will come in which book?
Botany or zoology? No, it's a common chapter. It's a common chapter.
Where
It
to
is
write?
going to have botany ka part. See, here only on the screen only you can very well see
As
that there is animal cell also given and the plant cell also given. है ना? Animal cell भी है यहाँ पर. You can very well see the animal cell and even you can see the plant cell. So you cannot actually call this as a chapter of botany or zoology.
So where to write?
It's going to be a huh.
So where exactly to write this chapter?
I am not able to get you because your voice is breaking a lot.
Ma'am, I'm asking that if we want to write this chapter and the notes of this chapter, then which book to write in? The zoology book or the
If
botany
anyone
book?
can listen what she's saying, can you all please help me out with her?
Hello, ma'am. She's saying that in which book are we supposed to write this chapter?
Well, so you can write down in botany, no issues. If you want, you can write down in botany. That's what I'm saying. You can write down in botany if you want, but it's not strictly botany. It's not strictly zoology. It's a general chapter which will cover botany ka region also and zoology ka part also. Anyway, so the cell structure, that is cell unit of life. We are going to talk about the typical animal cell, and this is the plant cell. Along with that, we are also going to talk about the prokaryotic cell. That's going to be your bacterial cell. Okay. Cell is called as a structural and functional unit of life of all living organisms capable of independent existence and can perform all functions of life. So basically what we have to understand over here is whatever we are made up of, okay, are nothing but cells. We are going to have, or we are known as multicellular organisms. But every cell of our body is in itself one living organism. Every cell in our body is actually one living organism. That means it's a living entity. हम लोग उसको कहते हैं living entity. What do you mean by the word living entity? Living entity का मतलब होता है the one which is capable of performing all the functions of life. What are the functions of life? The functions of life are metabolism, that is catabolism and anabolism. brought together to be called as metabolism. So unless and until the cell is capable of undergoing this metabolism, we call the cell as a living cell. As soon as the cell is not now capable of going ahead with the metabolic activities of which it was performing for so many months or days or years, that cell will be called as a dead cell and it will be considered as a debris. Debris का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? Debris का मतलब होता है वो चीज जो अब कुछ काम की नहीं है, वो अभी हमें हमारे सिस्टम से उसको एलिमिनेट करना पड़ता है, उसको हम कहते हैं debris. So this is going to be the cell debris once it has lost the function of performing metabolism. So unless and until वो metabolism कर पा रही है each and every cell of our body, उसको हम कहते हैं structural and functional unit. Okay. Robert Hooke discovered the cell in 1665. He examined the cells in a thin slice of cork under his self-made microscope. अब देखो ये जो माइक्रोस्कोप्स होते हैं आजकल जो माइक्रोस्कोप है उनका मैग्निफिकेशन पावर बहुत ही ज्यादा है. ओके बट वो टाइम पे जो उन्होंने 1665, इमेजिन, लुक एट द ईयर, है ना, that time he had the guts and the brains to make something that will magnify an image, and he could see the magnification power जो उनके माइक्रोस्कोप का था that was 42 times of the original size. वो टाइम पे 42 times was also a very big thing. बहुत बहुत बड़ी चीज थी वो. ओके तो उन्होंने वो माइक्रोस्कोप उन्होंने जो बनाया था, माइक्रोस्कोप अभी हम उसको जेंटली मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास बोलेंगे. आजकल तो हमारे मतलब जो शॉप में मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लासेस मिलती है उसका भी मैग्निफिकेशन इज मच मोर देन 42 टाइम्स. बट स्टिल so he made his microscope and he could see the cork cells up to 42 times larger than the original size. The cork seen was dead bark of Spanish oak. तो जो प्लांट था, जो ट्री था जिसका उन्होंने कॉर्क ऑब्जर्व किया था, वो ट्री था क्वर्कस का ट्री था. क्वर्कस इज ओक ट्री. रॉबर्ट हुक coined the term cellula for honeycomb like structure which later modified to cell. तो सेल हम उसको अभी बोलने लगे हैं. Initially we used to call it as cellula. He had called it as cellula. Cellula means, according to their language, cellula was honeycomb like structure. So the cells appear like, you know, in a bark. When you observe the tree ka bark under the microscope, they actually appear like a honeycomb like structure, and therefore that he called it as cellula. Actually, he saw only the dead cell walls of the plant. He couldn't see the internal contents of the cell. He could only see the boundary line, that is the cell wall. He published his findings in his book called as Micrographia. Now, my dears, these things are important. These are the questions that are put up in KVPY exam. Those students who are heading for KVPY exam, this is one of the most important chapters. Several questions have been asked and they keep on asking you all these questions in your examinations. These are the factual questions. Factual means जो fact के base पे है कि माइक्रोग्राफिया ये बुक जो है ये कोई चेंज नहीं कर सकता है. So where did Robert Hooke publish his findings? So it's going to be a book called as Micrographia. Okay, which was the tree of which the cork was observed by Robert Hooke. So it was the Quercus tuber नाम का tree, or you can call it as an oak tree. Okay, the year in which the cell was discovered, it was 1665. Was it a plant cell? Was it an animal cell? So it was a plant cell. You know, like these type of questions are going to be asked from this particular chapter regularly. They have asked. Then we come to something very important, that is called as the microscopes. To see cells clearly, a microscope is required. Larger cells can be seen through simple microscope, but to see the smaller cells, we require compound microscope, right? So simple microscopes can magnify the image up to 50 to 100 times. Simple वाला जो है वो 50 to 100 times तक amplification देता है, magnification देता है. But a compound microscope can do so 1,000 times more. 1,000 times or more मतलब कितना ज़्यादा मैग्निफिकेशन पावर है देखो उसका कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप का। तो जो ये सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप होता है ना बेटा, उसको हम डाइसेक्टिंग माइक्रोस्कोप भी कहते हैं। हैव यू ऑल सीन अ डाइसेक्टिंग माइक्रोस्कोप? आपके स्कूल के लैब में शायद रहेगा। ऐसा एक छोटा सा स्टेज होता है, एक रेक्टेंगुलर वाला, और ऊपर से एक मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास के जैसा होता है। यू कैन प्लेस एनी ऑफ द सैंपल ऑन इट एंड यू कैन स्टार्ट डाइसेक्टिंग इट. इट इज जनरली फॉर कॉकरोच डाइसेक्शंस और इंसेक्ट डाइसेक्शंस. तो मजे मजे में हमने, मतलब जब मैं 11th स्टैंडर्ड में थी ना आपके जैसे, तो हमारे कॉलेज में प्रैक्टिकल्स के इसमें टाइम पे वी हैड टू फॉलो द सिलेबस पैटर्न जो हमारे सर और मैम पढ़ाते थे, वैसे हमें एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करने पड़ते थे. बट अदरवाइज ड्यूरिंग द फ्री टाइम व्हेन द लैब हैड नो practicals going on and the lab was free, we were allowed to use all these things, of course under the supervision of the lab associates and all, but we were allowed to use all these microscopes for various activities. तो वो टाइम पास में है ना, तब 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 से वो आदत लगी थी मुझे कि जहाँ कहीं पर भी मिले कॉकरोच को पकड़ के लेके और उसको काटने को स्टार्ट करो. वो मेरी 11th स्टैंडर्ड से तब से मेरी वो आदत पड़ गई थी, बिकॉज मज़ा आता था वो टाइम पे कि डाइसेक्टिंग माइक्रोस्कोप सामने ही रखा है, कॉकरोच को पकड़ के लेके आओ और उसको मस्त काटने को स्टार्ट कर दो, using all the different you will have to buy this once your practical starts. Kit कहते हैं उसको हम लोग, we call it as a dissecting kit या dissecting tools कहते हैं हम लोग उसको, tool box कहते हैं.
Ma'am,
तो
but
उसमें से
cockroach
सारे जितने हो सके उतने सारे हाँ, नहीं कॉकरोच हमारे इसमें था. इवन यू विल बी हैविंग ना कॉकरोच इन योर सिलेबस, बट वी हैड अर्थवर्म
We're
आल्सो इन
having
आवर
the
सिलेबस.
dissection.
Mithun sir said that dissection is
वी
like
हैड कट अर्थवर्म.
maths now. हमारे कॉलेज में नहीं होगा, ऐसा सर ने बोला.
हाँ, yeah. So we had done earthworm, we had done frog, we had done rat. Rat and frog and all was not done under the dissecting microscope. It was directly done because they are large animals, so we can directly do that. We had dissected pigeon. So many things we had dissected when we are in 11th and 12th.
But ma'am, we won't be able to do now.
You put it in your chat box.
Ma'am, I recently dissected a cockroach.
You have dissected?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. This is Sia. I'm
If
pretty
you have,
sure.
it's great. मजा आता है, मजा आता है, मजा आता है. आप भी
He
आपके
said that
कॉलेज
the
पता नहीं
pictures
अभी कब
also it was
स्टार्ट
really
होगा, आई डोंट नो. Very good, very good, very good. If you have recently dissected, now it's very nice. Hey, it's fun. It's actually fun doing that. And cockroach and all, na, they don't, they have got hemolymph in them. So they don't have the red color ka blood inside them. हाँ, तो वो मजा आता है करने के लिए. Of course, without a dissecting microscope also you can cut the cockroach, no doubt about that. But अगर वो cockroach बहुत छोटू वाला है ना, तो फिर वो थोड़ा सा डाइसेक्शन के लिए माइक्रोस्कोप्स रहेंगे तो मजा आता है. और वो करने में मजा आता था. देखो वो इजी था. With your naked eyes also you can dissect you can dissect an earthworm, you can dissect a cockroach. बट वो तब बहुत ऐसा मतलब है ना, अच्छा लगता था. 11th स्टैंडर्ड में थी तो वो फील आ रही थी कि यार अभी हम लोग कुछ तो अच्छा करने के लिए, अपने करियर में कुछ करने के लिए जा रहे हैं ऑल. एंड सबसे पहले क्या डाइसेक्ट करें, तो चलो कॉकरोच मिला तो कॉकरोच को डाइसेक्ट करते हो ना, वो वाला एक फीलिंग था. बट बहुत मजा आता था, बहुत मजा आता था. So that is what is under your normal microscope, dissecting microscope, okay? But a compound microscope जो होता है ना, a compound microscope is going to give us a very good magnification, 1000 or more than 1000 as well. So in the microscope we use in the laboratory, a beam of light is used to make things visible, hence it is called as light microscope. So the compound microscope is also going to be called as your light microscope, okay? It is not light in weight, it is very heavy, but it requires the light to be focused on the mirror present on it. So we call it as light microscope. To see interior of the cell, we need electron microscope. So देखो हम एक एक स्टेप आगे बढ़ रहे हैं बेटा. सबसे पहले हमने सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप की बात की, which was 50 to 100 times the image would have been larger. The second that we said was the light microscope, in which the image was 1,000 or more times larger. And now look at this word electron microscope. In electron microscope, it can magnify image up to how many times larger? See, 5 lakh times larger. So look at the level of magnification. So to understand the interior of the cell, cell के अंदर के organelles और organelles के अंदर के structure, cell के अंदर के organelles, that is mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, ये सबके अंदर के structures देखने के लिए we require such high magnification. Okay. So these are the different types of microscopes that we are going to talk about. In general, short में मैंने बताया है, बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेलिंग नहीं करी है. Those who are interested in microbiology, they'll be studying everything in details about each of them. Well, so next comes the types of cell. Longest cell is going to be the nerve cell of a giraffe. Now these are again your factual questions. KVPY students, please focus on this. The longest cell is the nerve cell of giraffe. It's around 1 meter, more than 1 meter long. In human beings, it is 90 centimeters. Largest cell is the egg of the ostrich. Smallest cell is the pleuropneumonia-like organism, abbreviated as PPLO. Smallest plant cell is Mycoplasma. Largest plant cell is Acetabularia. And longest plant cell is the ramifiber. तो ये क्वेश्चंस है ना बहुत बार आ चुके हैं, इसलिए इसको मैंने टैबुलेट करके ही दे दिया है. बी वेरी केयरफुल. द स्मॉलेस्ट सेल आया तो आपका आंसर आएगा पीपीएलओ. लेकिन अगर क्वेश्चन आया स्मॉलेस्ट प्लांट सेल तो आपका आंसर आएगा माइकोप्लाज्मा. ओके, समझा? तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी आस्क्ड, प्लीज आंसर अकॉर्डिंगली. Very important type of information. Then we come to something called as cell theory. In 1838, Schleiden and Schwann have proposed the cell theory. Matthias Schleiden, he was a German botanist. Now look at the level of questions. They even asked that Schleiden belonged to which particular country. Okay, so he belonged to Germany. He was a German botanist. Fine. So in the year 1838, Matthias Schleiden, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants and observed that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissue of the plant. Now, this is one of the most important breakthrough in the cell theory. That is, he was a botanist. So he was observing plant cells. And when he was observing plant cells, he came to a conclusion that there are various kinds of cells which are involved in performing the same function. And those group of cells which were performing the same function were nothing but the tissues. So he said that a tissue is made up of several different types of cells. तो अब तक क्या लगता था सबको कि one type of cell is responsible for one type of function. No. So to carry out a particular function, like for example, water transport. Who is responsible for water transport in plants? Come on, tell me.
Xylem.
Very correct. Yes, very right, beta. अब ये जो xylem है, the xylem is made up of only one type of cell, or is it made up of different types of cells?
One type.
Some are saying one, some are saying different. Okay. It is not one type of cells, beta. It is different type of cells. And there are 4 different types of cells of which xylem is made. One is tracheids. Other is vessels. Third is xylem parenchyma. And fourth are xylem fibers. तो ये 4 अलग अलग सेल्स होते हैं. ट्रकीज अलग दिखते हैं, वेसल्स अलग दिखते हैं, फाइबर्स अलग दिखते हैं, पेरेन्काइमा अलग दिखता है. ये सब एक साथ मिलकर जो स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं ना, उसको हम कहते हैं xylem. So xylem itself is made up of 4 different kinds of cells. And so he said that different kinds of cells form a tissue which is going to perform a specific function for that particular plant. Okay, that was the observation of Shieldon. Now, what about Shaw? At about the same time, that is in the year 1839. So, Shieldon was 1838 and Shaw was 1839. Theodore Shaw, in the year 1839, who was a British zoologist. See, Shieldon was a German botanist and Shaw was a British zoologist, studied different types of animal cells. He was a zoologist, so obviously he was doing a study on animal tissues and reported that cells had a thin outer layer which today is known as plasma membrane. So what was the observation of Shaw? Shaw said that whatever liquid portion was there in the cell, whatever liquid portion, that liquid portion is now called as cytoplasm, right? So whatever is the liquid portion, that liquid portion is bound by, that liquid portion के ऊपर एक covering है, एक boundary है, that is going to be called as plasma membrane today. He called it as a thin outer layer. He also concluded, based on his studies on the plant tissues, that see, now look at this sentence, which is very, yeah. Sean says in the honor of Emondi. Yeah. Now, please, my dears, please pay attention to this third point very nicely. Sean also concluded, based on his study on plant tissues, ये बंदा zoologist था. ये जो शॉन था, ये बंदा कौन था बेटा? zoologist था. लेकिन इसने क्या किया है देखो, he not only did a study on animal cells, but he did a comparative study on plant cells and animal cells together. And therefore, what did he conclude based on his studies on the plant cells? That there is a presence of cell wall, which is an extra covering on the plant cells, which is absent in the animal cell. Okay, so he said that there is a presence of cell wall, which is a unique character of plant cells. मतलब animal cell के ऊपर ये gift pack नहीं है, plant cell के ऊपर ये gift packing है. Gift packing है का मतलब समझे ना बेटा? आपने आपके friend के लिए कुछ ले लिया, हाँ, you took something, some gift for your friend, और वो gift को एक box में डाल दिया. Okay, अब ये box में डालने के बाद क्या हो गया कि when you are going to travel, when you are going to carry that gift, वो जो है वो इधर उधर गिरेगा नहीं, टूटेगा नहीं, है ना? उसके ऊपर एक बाउंड्री आ गई, उसके ऊपर एक कवरिंग आ गया, बॉक्स का कवरिंग आ गया. लेकिन जब आप गिफ्ट देते हो तो आप उस बॉक्स को भी गिफ्ट पैक से रैप करते हो कि नहीं? So in the same way, your plant cell will have an additional covering over the plasma membrane. That means plasma membrane is going to be found in all cells. Let it be animal cell, let it be plant cell, doesn't matter. But along with this plasma membrane, there is going to be an extra covering that is going to be called as the cell wall, which is the characteristic feature or the unique feature of plant cells. On the basis of this, Sean proposed the hypothesis that the bodies of the animals and plants are composed of cells and product of cells. So what is his way of explaining the cell theory? See, on the basis of this, Sean is saying that the animal cells and the plant cells are composed of cells and the products of the cells, or we call it as products thereof. Fine. However, in this theory, there was no explanation about formation of new cells. तो इन्होंने शॉन ने ये तो बता दिया कि सेल्स कैसे होते हैं, कैसे उसके ऊपर कवरिंग होता है, प्लांट का सेल कैसे डिफरेंट है एनिमल सेल से, और एवरीथिंग ही एक्सप्लेन, बट ही couldn't explain about the formation of new cells. It was Rudolf Virchow in the year 1855 who later explained for the first time that the new cells are formed by cell division from pre-existing cells. So, omnis cellula e cellula, ये सबसे important वाला word है यहाँ पर. So, omnis cellula e cellula का मतलब क्या है? New cells arise from pre-existing cells. Cellula e cellula, cell पुराने pre-existing cells से नए cell बनते हैं. Okay, so please remember this sentence given by Rudolf Virchow stating new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. You will not going to forget this at all, because Rudolf Virchow and omnis cellulae cellula has been asked last 21 years में कम से कम this question has been asked 16 times, 16 times. So please remember about Rudolf Virchow. And what is his saying? And don't forget his language, omnis cellula e cellula. In later years, advanced research in cytology led to modification in the cell theory, which is now known as the modern cell theory. So, till the last few years back, it was known as cell theory. And now we have come up because of the advancement, research and development, technology में and science field में इतना अच्छा हो गया है that now we came to know many more detailing of what the cell theory had claimed. And therefore we call it as modern cell theory. So what are the postulates of modern cell theory? All living organisms are made up of cells, right? We all know this. Living cells arise from the pre-existing cells. This was given by Rudolf Virchow. A cell is the structural and functional unit of life. This was given by Schilden and Shawn. Total activities of cells are responsible for activity of an organism. Now, this is a very important point, beta. Total activities of the cell means every cell is going to have a specific function. For example, I want you to answer this question. The beta cells of Langerhans are responsible for the production of what? Beta cells of Langerhans are responsible for the production of what?
Insulin.
Very good, Shravani.
Insulin.
Very nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Pranavi, glucagon is alpha cells and beta cells are going to be insulin. Okay? Yeah. Now, इंसुलिन बनाने का काम किसका है? तो बीटा सेल्स का है ना? वैसे ही अब अगर ये इंसुलिन बना के उन्होंने उनके पास ही रख दिया, is it of any use if they make and keep it to themselves? Is it of any use? Insulin, they made insulin, but they are not letting that insulin get, reach the target area. Is it of any use then?
No, ma'am.
No. So there has to be an interaction. There has to be an interaction between cell to cell for carrying out all the activities that are required for the organism to remain alive. So they are saying the total activities of the cell, so the internal activities of the cell, whatever the cells are making, they have to interact, they have to give something to their neighboring cells, they have to take something from the neighboring cells. So all these activities together are responsible to be called as activity of an organism. Is it fine? So हम कहते हैं ये मैंने किया, ये मैंने बोला, ये मैंने कहा, ये मेरा ये हुआ, ये मेरा मैंने ये जो है ना बेटा, ये मेरा और मैंने कुछ नहीं होता है. This is nothing is ours because we are nothing actually. Whatever we are the result of the interactions of the cells that is taking place in our body. So if the hormones that are not going to be produced for any particular thing, we won't be able to do anything. If there is no blood flow that is going to take place in our body, we are dead. If the oxygen which is going to be carried is not going to be carried and it's going to remain only in one particular group of cells, not allowing it to pass, we are nothing. So whatever we are actually whatever activity we are doing. Activity means not running, talking, walking. Activity means every breath that we are taking in. Even that is an activity, right? For that activity, whatever is required is done actually by our cells. So they are saying that the total activities of the cells are responsible for the activity of an organism. Okay. Cell shows transformation of energy. We know this. We know this. That ATP will be made also and ATP will be broken down also. In respiration chapter, we have seen in detail how ATP is synthesized. Cells contain nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA in the nucleus, and it also going to have something called as the cytoplasm. So these are the modern postulates of the modern cell theory. Let us see an overall view of the cell. This is observed in onion cell. This is actually an activity, it's a practical to be done in your college syllabus. We have to take the onion cell actually. So the onion cell, which is a typical plant cell, has a distinct cell wall as its outer boundary, and just within it lies the cell membrane. Cell membrane is nothing but your plasma membrane. The cells of the human cheek have an outer membrane as the delimiting structure of the cell, which is called as the plasma membrane. So अपना जो cheek cells होता है ना, in the early morning, व्हेन वी गेट अप, कभी कभी है ना हमारे चीक के इनर लेयर में, मुंह के तरफ, अंदर के तरफ, जब आप आपकी टंग घुमाओगे ना, तो यू कैन फाइंड वेरी फाइन स्लाइमी थिंग कमिंग आउट ऑफ योर चीक लेयर. कभी ऐसा ऑब्जर्व किया है आपने? नाउ
Yes,
डोंट डू इट रे. अभी आपने खा पी के बस बैठे हो, अभी सब लोग तुम अपना अपना टंग घुमा रहे हो अपने अपने चीक पे, मुझे समझ में आ रहा है, वो है ना, सब
how
लोग
do you
घुमा रहे
know
हो
that,
ना.
ma'am?
हाँ, वो जो स्लाइमी स्लाइमी निकल आता है ना, वो जो एकदम बहुत ही स्लाइमी बोल सकते हो उसको, व्हाइटिश ट्रांसलूसेंट टाइप जो निकल आता है ना, यू हैव टू टेक दैट मटेरियल and you have to, or you can take the scrapings of the cheek as we say in the early morning. So what will happen now, if you take that and if you stain it and observe under the microscope, you can see the animal cell very clearly. Okay, so they are saying the cells of the human cheek have an outer membrane as a delimiting structure of the cell. That doesn't mean बाकी नहीं है, but ये sample हम ले सकते हैं without hurting ourselves. एनिमल सेल को ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए जो सैंपल कलेक्ट करना होता है ना, वो सैंपल कलेक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं, विदाउट हर्टिंग योरसेल्फ, विदाउट ब्लीडिंग, है ना, विदाउट हर्टिंग योरसेल्फ, विदाउट ब्लीडिंग, जो सैंपल हम कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, इट इज दैट स्लाइमी थिंग. ओके, सो या व्हाट्स योर डाउट बेटा? हाउ डू यू नो मैम दैट वी आर डूइंग इट? अरे आई नो वेरी वेल, आई नो हु इज डूइंग व्हाट एट एवरी पर्टिकुलर मिनट. ओके बच्चा, 20 साल से पढ़ा रही हूँ मैं, तो आई नो. Okay, fine. So I know you are not in right in front of me. आपके कैमरा भी, अरे मेरा भी कैमरा ऑफ है, आपका भी कैमरा ऑफ है. मुझे कैसे पता चला कि आप लोग ये कर रहे हो? लेकिन मैं गारंटी दे रही हूँ, जितने बच्चे, उसमें से 95% ऑफ द बच्चों ने अपना टंग जो है वो चीक में पूरा घुमाया है. आप सच बोलो या झूठ बोलो, लेकिन ये किया तो है, सब ने किया है. और इसीलिए मैंने बोला अभी मत करो, अभी तुम लोग खा पी के बैठे. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I know that. Okay, fine. So inside cell, each cell is a dense membrane-bound structure called as nucleus. So every living cell will have a nucleus. There are exceptions like RBCs, mature RBCs, जिनमें nucleus नहीं दिखाई देता है. This nucleus contains chromosomes, which in turn contain the genetic material, that is DNA. So nucleus is going to be the most important part of our cell because it's going to contain the chromosomes inside it. Cells that have membrane-bound nuclei are called as eukaryotic cells, whereas cells that lack a membrane-bound nucleus are called as prokaryotic cells. Now, this is the main difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic. जो सेल न्यूक्लियस जिसमें क्लियरली दिखाई देता है या न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन क्लियरली दिखाई देती है, those cells are called as eukaryotic cells, whereas those cells in which the nuclear membrane is not well developed, or rather the nucleus itself is not well developed, in them there won't be any cell organelles also present, they would be called as your prokaryotic cells. Okay, so एक है eukaryotic cell, एक है prokaryotic cell. Pro means पहले, primitive. Carry on का मतलब होता है nucleus. So those which are having primitive nucleus are called as prokaryotes. And U are true. U का मतलब क्या है? True. So those who have got true nucleus are called as eukaryotes. Fine. In both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, a semi-fluid matrix called as cytoplasm occupies the volume of the cell. Okay. So semi-fluid matrix, that is going to be gel-like, we call it as. It's a gel-like substance which is called as cytoplasm, which is a common feature for both. Let it be prokaryotic cell, let it be eukaryotic cell, doesn't matter. This matrix is going to be present. The cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in both plant and animal cells. Most important sentence. That maximum cellular activities are carried out in. Majority of the students will mark the answer as nucleus, because people feel that nucleus is the main center of our cell. That's true, but nucleus is the remote control. Nucleus will control all the cellular activities which are taking place in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in plant cells also, in animal cells also. In prokaryotes, so there is no nucleus, so there is no question of taking place inside or outside. Various chemical reactions occur in it to keep the cell in the living state. So that's what I said. Those cells who are undergoing metabolism would be called as living, because there are many reactions that will be taking place continuously in them. Besides the nucleus, the eukaryotic cells also have other membrane-bound distinct structures called as the organelles, like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosome, mitochondria, microbodies, vacuoles, chloroplast, etc. बहुत सारे हैं जो हम डिटेलिंग करने ही वाले हैं. The prokaryotic cells lack such membrane-bound organelles. Prokaryotic cells में ये cell organelles कुछ नहीं होते. They do not have ER. They do not have Golgi. Nothing. They are very simple. Most simple. Okay. The one which is written in bold is the most important sentence on the screen as of now. Ribosomes are non-membrane-bound organelles found in all cells, both eukaryotic as well as prokaryotic. So ribosomes are common to prokaryotes also and eukaryotes also. बेटा ये याद रखिएगा. राइबोसोम के ऊपर है ना सेल मेम्ब्रेन नहीं होता है, बाकी हर एक ऑर्गेनल के ऊपर सेल मेम्ब्रेन प्रेजेंट है, बट राइबोसोम के ऊपर सेल मेम्ब्रेन नहीं है, और इसीलिए राइबोसोम्स आर कॉमन टू बोथ. इवन इन प्रोकैरियोट्स यू विल फाइंड राइबोसोम्स, even in eukaryotes you will find ribosomes. Okay. Within the cell, ribosomes are found not only in the cytoplasm. Within the cells means within the eukaryotic cells. Okay. Ribosomes are not only found in the cytoplasm, but they are also found within chloroplast and mitochondria. Okay. And that will be inside chloroplast and inside mitochondria, and they would also be found attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. तो इस तरीके से राइबोसोम्स का प्रेजेंस हमारे सेल में बहुत ज्यादा होता है. ठीक है. Animal cell contains another non-membrane bound organelle called as the centriole, which helps in cell division. Centriole is absent in plant cells. Cells differ greatly in size, shape, and activities. Among multicellular organisms, human red blood cells are about 7 μm in diameter. Cells also vary greatly in their shape. They may be disc-like, polygonal, columnar, cuboidal, thread-like, irregular. ये सारे shapes हमने है ना बेटा structural unit of life में देखे हुए हैं. Structural tissues में हमने ये सारे देखे हुए हैं, है ना. Epithelium cells हमने सारे देखे हैं. The shape of the cells may vary with their function they perform. So depending upon the function, the shape of the cell is going to change. This is a very important phenomena called as totipotency again. I think you all will be knowing about it. But what is totipotency? It is the capacity or the potential of the living nucleated cell to differentiate and divide to form any other type of cell and thereby give rise to a complete new organism or a complete new organ as also. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? एक ऐसी सेल्स हमारे बॉडी में होते हैं, उनको हम जो चाहे वो ऑर्गन में या ऑर्गेनिज्म में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. वैसे सेल्स को हम कहते हैं टोटिपोटेंट सेल्स. A cell is totipotent because it has the entire genetic information of the organism in its nucleus. तो उस ऑर्गेनिज्म के लिए जो भी कुछ जेनेटिक मटेरियल चाहिए वो पूरा इधर अवेलेबल है, और जेनेटिक मटेरियल का पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन भी अवेलेबल है. Embryonal animal cells are totipotent and they are called as stem cells. Stem cells have great medical applications including cure for diseases. So I don't know if you all are aware of this stem cell phenomena. आपने कभी सुना है कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं, but it is very important. Yeah, zygote of course. Yeah, it's a totipotent cell. Yes, Samiksha, you are right बेटा. Totipotent cell है वो. Pluripotency दिखाता है. Yes, correct. Pluripotency and totipotency means actually the same. Pluripotency means different type of cells बन सकते हैं. Totipotency is the capacity to make different type of cells. Okay, so very closely related two terms. Now there is something called as umbilical cord blood, which is saved after parturition. Okay, so यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे तो when the umbilical cord is cut between the newly born baby and its mother, है ना, वो umbilical cord कट किया जाता है. तो umbilical cord कट करने के बाद few ml of blood which is going to ooze out from the umbilical cord is going to be collected in a vial. Vial, VIAL. Vial is a glass का छोटा test tube like a thing. And this blood is saved for hundreds of years. You can save this cells, you can save this blood for hundreds of years. उसको हम कहते हैं stem cells. अब ये जो umbilical cord blood जो सेव किया गया है, ओके, वो जो saved blood है वो आप in liquid nitrogen that is -172 डिग्री सेल्सियस में even up to 100 years आप सेव कर सकते हो. अब सेव करने का क्या फायदा है? What is the use of this blood? This blood contains stem cells, that means they are going to have totipotent cells. तो क्या हो जाएगा? In future, I have saved this. मेरा ये umbilical cord, ये blood, मेरा stem cells during my son's birth के time पे मैंने वो save किया है. But that time that affair was very costly. जब that is now my son is how many years old? 13 years old. So around 13 years back, 13-14 years back की जो बात है, वो टाइम पे है ना, ये umbilical cord blood बहुत उसको सेव करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा कॉस्ट था वहाँ वो टाइम पे. द रीज़न वाज, यू नो, पूरे इंडिया में ये स्टोर करने के लिए एक ही प्लेस थी, दैट वाज इन चेन्नई. तो चेन्नई में एक लैब थी विच वाज सेविंग दिस umbilical cord blood vials. तो वो टाइम पे मैंने वो सेव किया है. अब उसका क्या फ़ायदा है? What is the use of it? Suppose in future I require for any reason, for example अगर kidney, there is some problem with the kidney and the kidneys have to be replaced. तो किडनी रिप्लेसमेंट के लिए डोनर की जरूरत होती है और डोनर का किडनी मैच होना चाहिए, है ना, एक्सेप्ट होना चाहिए जिसको जरूरत है. उसके साथ अगर वो किडनी का टिश्यू मैच नहीं हुआ तो द बॉडी विल रिजेक्ट इट, वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा, है ना. अब डोनर ढूंढना और डोनर ढूंढ के उसका किडनी मेरे किडनी से मैच होना is a very big deal. Many people are having problem with this only, that they are not finding a suitable donor to replace their kidneys, and that is the reason people are dying, right? So in this case, from that particular stem cells that have been saved so many years before, है ना, उनको उसमें से 1 ml इतना कम अमाउंट ऑफ ब्लड में यूज करके पूरा एक नया किडनी बना सकती हूँ मेरे खुद का. मैं बना सकती हूँ मतलब of course the technicians and the technical team will do it, but it is possible. Okay, so this is the way you are going to have the capacity of making a new complete organ itself from that saved stem cells. Isn't it wonderful? है ना? No, now this is not going to be applicable only for me and my son. It will be applicable. See, my son will be having a genetic composition of his father as well, right? So that umbilical cord cells will have, or the stem cells will have the genetic information of me also and my husband also, because it's going to be the umbilical cord blood which is common to both of us, right? It won't take many years, beta. It is going to be the regeneration can be done in 3 to 6 months maximum. Fine. If the umbilical cord is not going to be cut, is not going to happen like that way. For freeing the child from the mother, the umbilical cord has to be cut, my dear. So during the this is only possible during this particular process of parturition. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay. Now, if I require, suppose something happens and like these cases have been seen. ऐसे cases हुए हैं कि किसी एक फीमेल को है ना पूरा बर्न हो गया, पूरा जल गया उसका स्किन, एंड स्किन ग्राफ्टिंग करना पड़ रहा है उसको. तो स्किन ग्राफ्टिंग करने के लिए ना व्हाट यूज्ड टू हैपन अर्लियर, तो अपना अगर अपर बॉडी एक्सट्रीमिटीज जल गए हैं ना, तो फ्रॉम द थाई रीजन अपना जो थाई होता है ना, थाई रीजन से एक स्किन की लेयर कट की जाती थी और फिर वो लेयर को आर्टिफिशियली लैब में ग्रो कराकर उसकी शीट बनाते थे, स्किन की शीट बनाते थे। अब इमेजिन करो, वो बंदा जिसका पूरा बॉडी जल गया है, उसको ऑलरेडी कितना सारा पेन है, उसके ऊपर से थाई रीजन का एक पूरा स्किन का स्लाइस करो, इट्स सो पेनफुल, है या नहीं? नाउ दिस इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। अभी अगर आपने स्टेम सेल स्टोर किए हैं तो आप उस 1 ml ऑफ ब्लड से पूरा नया आपका स्किन बना सकते हो, आपका खुद का ही बनेगा, बिकॉज जेनेटिक कंपोजिशन आपका ही है उसमें, तो रिजेक्शन का कोई सवाल ही नहीं है। There is no requirement of donor, there is no requirement of testing whether it will be applicable, and it is not only applicable for me, it is applicable for me, for my children. That's a different story, I've got only one son, but if I had 2 children or 3 children, it would have been applicable for all of them, and even for my husband. So it's going to be, used by the entire one family. So it's a very good thing that you should actually, go ahead with this. But there is no awareness of these particular things even today, and that's really very sad. So like 14, 15 years before only this had actually come up in India. So it is umbilical cord blood, na beta? So it's going to be having a genetic composition of my son as well. So that is going to have what? That is going to have what? That is going to have the genetic composition of 50% spermatozoa, 50% egg. So both. Got it? So this is the way it is going to be applicable. Yes. Okay. Son, husband too. Yeah. Yes, Komal. Even your question is answered in this, right? Yeah. Can one person give their stem cells to other who doesn't have any connection with the first person? No. No use. What is the use of it? The genetic composition will change. And if the genetic composition will change, then it is going to be of no use to that particular person, है ना? तो टोटिपोटेंसी है स्टेम सेल्स में, इसीलिए ये पॉसिबल हो सकता है, अदरवाइज इट वोंट बी पॉसिबल। तो
Ma'am,
हम्म
but in such a case, if the person really needs a kidney, so then family, within the family only, why can't they donate or receive the kidney? Like if they have to go through
that is
some
only possible
transplant
if
or
the
something.
family does not have, suppose for example suppose I'll tell you that this is a case that has happened with one of my patients. Okay, now there was a requirement of a kidney by a female who was around 70 years old, 72 years old. वो मम्मी है उनकी, उनको किडनी की जरूरत। अब उनको किडनी कौन डोनेट, हाँ ट्रांसप्लांट, किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट की, है ना? बट हु कैन गिव हर द किडनी? मैचिंग का प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगा ऐसे, कौन उसको किडनी डोनेट कर सकता है बेटा?
Their children.
हाँ, उसके खुद के बच्चे दे सकते हैं, करेक्ट ना? उसके खुद के बच्चे दे सकते हैं उसको, सो देयर वोंट बी अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ मैचिंग। अब उसको 3 बच्चे हैं, 2 सन्स एंड 1 डॉटर, बट ऑल 3 ऑफ देम आर हेवीली डायबिटिक, so it is not possible for either of them to donate their kidney to their mother. So in this case she has to check for some external donor, and external donor का इसके साथ 90% भी मैच होना is a very big difficulty, 100% तो मैच होगा ही नहीं। So that is the problem that is incurred nowadays with people, like though the family members are there, many of us are having some or the other problems with our health, especially diabetes is common, blood pressure is common. So ऐसे case में you cannot give.
Yeah.
Got it? Yeah. So that is one
I
important point.
had my grandfather was admitted in a hospital, and over there was a case where my grandfather and my grandmother both were heavy diabetes, and my grandfather needed a kidney. So they found a donor, a couple. The male in that couple needed a kidney. So it was a cross donation. It was the first in their hospital that my grandmother gave it to the male of that couple, and the female of that couple gave the kidney to my grandfather. So it was a cross donor case. So in that case, then what should the doctors check for that? Then should the other couple be non-diabetic or something like that?
Exactly. But then it has to match. Now, if it is matching, there is no problem. If it is not matching, then it is a problem.
But ma'am, her grandmother was also highly diabetic. So how did they accept the kidney of a highly diabetic person?
She was diabetic, but I don't know about highly, but she was diabetic.
How did they accept the kidney then?
Mhm. Dialysis is fine. So, see, kidney transplant is the last thing that has to be, like that's a possibility. Otherwise,
Ma'am,
normal case may you don't. But it is always, bolo.
the umbilical cord blood is stored for the stem cells now.
Yes, correct.
Then the blood will have some blood group.
Yeah, it's the umbilical cord blood. So when the umbilical cord is going to be cut now to separate the child from the mother, that time whatever blood will ooze out, not necessarily group as such, but it will have antigens and antibodies. So when we will talk about circulation chapter, at that time you will come across this RH factor and blood group positive, negative, and antigen antibodies, how they are going to be, helpful or in determining this grafting or rejections and acceptance. In circulation chapter, it is going to be taught in detail.
Ma'am, can you
Okay.
hear me?
So what is your question, beta? Prokaryotes are immortal.
Oh,
Yeah,
she can't.
fine, that's true. Why does an animal cell have a cell wall? Animal cells do not require a cell wall because there is going to be presence of a centriole. Cell wall is just going to be an additional protection during the cell division to cells from bursting out. Doesn't it to need extra protection? No, it's not required. Then what is your question? If a person can live with one kidney, why not they just remove the defective kidney as it is possible? They remove one kidney and allow that person to sustain on one kidney. But if both the kidneys are having a problem, then that's an issue. And generally, it has been seen that if that kidney problem is not detected earlier, then both the kidneys are going to be damaging simultaneously. So that is the problem. That is the problem.
So, ma'am, in my case also, in my grandfather's case also, both the kidneys were damaged and one kidney was functioning only 10%.
That is the problem, na beta? Exactly. One kidney पे जब pressure आ जाता है ना, then the chance that even that one kidney also, will get, uh, I mean, it has to perform double the
He was
function.
on
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was on dialysis for like 3 times a week for 4 hours every day.
Hmm. That's the only option. Yeah, that's the only option that is left. Now we can't help. And this is, it's like you have to keep on doing it, right? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. What's your doubt, beta? Your grandmother was diabetic. Then how did doctors accept the kidney? Accept the kidney as what? From her to another, or for her? Accepted her kidney as a donor or accepted the kidney for her? Hmm. So that's what. When it is going to be a diabetic person now, it has got many more complications. They have got many more complications there. So generally, even see blood donation, people who are allowed to do blood donation should be hale and hearty. They should not have any complications like diabetes or blood pressure. Their blood is not accepted. If the person is having diabetes or having blood pressure, their blood is not accepted. Okay, so that is the prime criteria that your health should be perfectly fine. Okay. Komal, I answered this question that yes, prokaryotes are immortal. I even answered that we don't require an animal cell. Why? Hmm? Okay. So we come to the types of cells based on the nuclear organization. Cells are classified into two types: prokaryotic and eukaryotic. The prokaryotes have simple cellular organizations, while eukaryotes exhibit high degree of organization. That means the prokaryotic cells are so simple. The prokaryotic cells are so simple that there is nothing inside them. है ना? Nothing inside them means no cell organ is inside them. They only have a cytoplasm, and whatever is required for their functioning is going to be freely present in the cytoplasm. They do not have any membrane bound organelles in them. The term prokaryote and eukaryote was given by von Neer. Don't forget his name. Who devised or who designated the term eukaryote and prokaryote? It was von Neer. Okay. Let's come to the prokaryotic cells first. Now, we are first distinguishing between the prokaryotic cells, how they are, and then we will talk about the eukaryotic cells, how they are. So first we go ahead with the prokaryotic cells. The cells in prokaryotes has chemically complex protective cell envelope. So we are going from outer side to the inner side. Okay. So in bacteria, especially when we talk about prokaryotes, हमारे दिमाग में bacteria आ जाता है. So in prokaryotes, the bacteria is going to have a protective cell envelope which is chemically complex. Fine. However, it does not have a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound cell organelles. They lack. They don't have this. A typical cell is classified into three parts: cell envelope, cytoplasm, and the nucleus. Though they do not have a proper nucleus, they have got not well-developed nuclear material, we would say. So let's first talk about the cell envelope. Plant has three layers in its envelope. The cell envelope consists of tightly bound three-layered structures, that is, outermost called as glycocalyx, followed by cell wall, followed by plasma membrane. So here you can see glycocalyx, cell wall, and plasma membrane. These are the three things which are going to be present one below the other. These are the three things which are going to be present one below the other. So outermost being the glycocalyx. Most
And we cannot hear you.
I guess ma'am can't hear us also. I guess bad internet connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are we back? There's a lot of connective issues going on. I don't know, for the past 2 days I'm having this problem. For the on today, because if I keep the video on तो bandwidth ज़्यादा लेता है वो, इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि मैं without keeping my video on मैं lecture लेके देखती हूँ तो disconnect ना हो जाएंगे, but somehow there is an issue going on. Is it going on everywhere or is it going on only because yesterday also I took 3 lectures ना, तीनों lectures में मेरे बच्चे बोल रहे थे कि मैम हमारे यहाँ पर भी issue चल रहा है. Is it a universal problem or is it in my area? I don't know.
Universal problem, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Mukta. This is for you. You were saying that you want to turn to the previous slide. So this is the previous.
Yes, ma'am, done. Thank you.
Okay, better. Okay, fine. So we are talking about the glycocalyx. Glycocalyx is something which is not mandatory. It may be present, it may not be present. Okay. So no. Most of the
Ma'am, your-
prokaryotic cells. Yeah. Tell me.
Your voice is lagging.
Yes.
Yes, miss. Yes.
I know, because there is some drastic issue with the net connections. That's what I'm saying. There's some problem with the net going on continuously. Even I'm unable to hear you. Is it better now?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Let's
Because
see.
I don't know.
Yes.
बीच में ही ना कुछ तो हो जाता है उसको. I'm just trying to change my router का direction and all, but I don't know.
Ma'am, it's a universal
fine.
issue. I'm also facing
So what I
it.
was saying is, glycocalyx need not be a mandatory thing to be present. Okay, it may be present, it may not be present. Yeah. So see. Sorry. In this diagram, you can see this glycocalyx. See over here, this is the glycocalyx. So this may be present, this blue color covering, it might be present. So they have, although each layer of the envelope performs distinct functions, they act together as a single protective unit. Glycocalyx differs in composition and thickness among different bacteria. So, some bacteria will have a thicker glycocalyx layer. Some will have a thinner glycocalyx layer, depending upon which type of organism it is. So, some may have a loose sheath called as the slime layer, while some may have a thick and tough covering called as the capsule. So it could be a slime layer or it could be a capsule, anything it could be. Fine. So please remember, when glycocalyx is a loose sheath, we call it as a slime layer. And when the glycocalyx is thick and tough, we call it as a capsule. Fine. Now please mention over here, one point is missing in this slide. Please mention this point, that glycocalyx is made up of, please write it down. Glycocalyx is made up of polysaccharides. Glycocalyx is made up of polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are nothing but they are the sugars. Okay. Now just I'll quickly, because this diagram is there in front of us, I'll just quickly talk about it. So the outermost blue color layer is the glycocalyx, capsule if it is compact, and slime if it is diffuse. Diffuse means not tightly bound, loosely bound structure. Below the glycocalyx, you can see over here, this is your skin color or whatever color you want to say, which is nothing but your cell wall. So this is going to be the cell wall. Okay. And innermost, this brown color ka structure that you can see very clearly, dark brown color structure, that's going to be the plasma membrane, or it's also called as your cell membrane. Okay. And this plasma membrane or the cell membrane are going to form these invaginations. Invaginations means finger-like projections. or sac-like projections, these invaginations which are called as mesosomes. ठीक है, so ये तीन structures आप अच्छी तरह से याद रखना बेटा, that is glycocalyx, cell wall and plasma membrane, and plasma membrane makes infoldings, and these infoldings are going to be called as mesosomes. This blue color structure is going to be the complete cytoplasm. You can see this entirely is the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, you have got this DNA. Now, this DNA is not bound in any membrane. It is not a membrane bound structure. So, it does not have a nuclear membrane. So, the DNA or the nucleoid or what we say, bacterial genome, it's going to be freely suspended in this cytoplasm. Okay. So, this is going to be the DNA. Then you have got something called as inclusion bodies. What are inclusion bodies? I'm going to talk about in detail eventually. You have got plasmids, you have got ribosomes. Each and every part I'm going to explain. Each and every point I'm going to explain. Don't worry about it. And you have got something called as flagella. You can see the flagella. They're extending from the plasma membrane ke niche se, and they're coming out. And this flagella is going to help in locomotion. Similarly, you can see the formation of villi over here. Villi are not involved in locomotion. Villi का काम कुछ और है, वो क्या है वो मैं आगे बताऊंगी, ठीक है? So just ये वाला diagram important है. Outermost is glycocalyx, followed by cell wall, followed by plasma membrane. Plasma membrane may form infoldings or finger-like projections, which are called as mesosomes. There may be presence of flagella and villi. The DNA is scattered in the cytoplasm. It has got plasmids and inclusion bodies as well, along with the ribosomes. Okay? ये basic frame structure याद रखिएगा. आगे मैं हर एक के पास आ ही रही. After the glycocalyx, we come to the cell wall of the bacteria. So the cell wall determines the shape of the cell and provides a strong structural support to prevent the bacteria from bursting or collapsing. So the main reason for the cell wall of bacteria is prevention from bursting and collapsing. The cell wall of bacteria and cyanobacteria is made up of peptidoglycans. Cyanobacteria is also called as blue-green algae. What is the other name of cyanobacteria? Blue-green algae. And it is made up of peptidoglycan. Peptido means peptide जिसमें present होते हैं, peptide bond जिसमें present होते हैं वो. Glycan, ये glycon हुआ है, वो glycon ये वो glycan है, GLYCAN है, glycan. ये glycans are sugars. So peptido means amino acids. So the cell wall of bacteria is going to be made up of amino acids and sugars. इन दोनों को मिलाकर सेल वॉल ऑफ बैक्टीरिया बनता है, ठीक है? अब ये जो सेल वॉल का एग्जैक्ट स्ट्रक्चर कैसा है, ये सेल वॉल कैसे दिखता है, ये एग्जैक्टली कैसे होता है, ये सब है ना हम लोग बायोलॉजिकल क्लासिफिकेशन करके एक चैप्टर है आपका, उसमें देखेंगे, बिकॉज उसमें पूरा प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल को इन डेप्थ मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया है. सो यहाँ पर मैं तो मतलब एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रही हूँ, लेकिन इसका पूरा डिटेलिंग आपको उस चैप्टर में मिलेगा. With the structure, I will tell you how this peptidoglycan look like. But just remember, it is amino acid, sugar, amino acid, sugar, amino acid, sugar. ऐसे alternate forms में ये present होते हैं. Okay? Yeah. What is the plasmid? I'll tell you, beta. I'll tell you. It's going to come eventually. बताऊंगी मैं. Plasma membrane of prokaryotes, that is bacterial plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is semi-permeable in nature and interacts with the outside world. This membrane is similar structurally to that of the eukaryotes. मतलब plasma membrane of eukaryotes and plasma membrane of prokaryotes बहुत ज़्यादा difference है नहीं. Okay, थोड़ा बहुत difference है, वो क्या है वो मैं बताऊंगी आपको. A special membranous structure is the mesosome, which is formed by the extensions of the plasma membrane into the cell. तो मैंने अभी आपको बताया था that mesosomes are the infoldings of the plasma membrane, right? These extensions are in the form of vesicles, tubules or lamellae. So ये जो mesosomes होते हैं ना, they may form pouch-like structures, bag-like structures called as vesicles, or they are tube-like structures called as tubule, or they are lamella-like structures called as lamellae. They help in cell wall formation. Yeah. So what is the role? What is the function of these mesosomes? The function of the mesosome is cell wall formation में help करते हैं, DNA replication में help करते हैं, and distribution of the DNA equally into two equal daughter cells उसमें भी ये काम में आते हैं. So these are very important structures. Mesosomes are very important structures which help in DNA replication also. They also help in respiration, secretion. They help to increase the surface area of the plasma membrane, and they are also going to store the enzyme inside it. तो ये जो pockets है, ये जो vesicles है, ये जो है ना, ये respiration के लिए लगने वाले enzymes store करते हैं. Secreted product जो है वो उसमें उस पोटली में डाल के रख देते हैं. So they are important for storage, for secretion, for enzyme activities, everything. Fine. In some prokaryotes like cyanobacteria, there are other membranous extensions into the cytoplasm called as chromatophores, which contain pigments. Chromato means color. Okay. Pores means extension. So these are going to contain the pigments for photosynthesis. So blue-green algae are capable of photosynthesis. Why are they capable of photosynthesis? Because they have got the pigments for photosynthesis. Where are these pigments going to be found? These pigments are found in special structures called as chromatophores, which are nothing but extensions of the plasma membrane into the cytoplasm, just like mesosomes. Just like mesosomes. Okay. Any doubts till now? Any confusion till now? Yeah, you want me to go to the previous slide? Yeah, see, this is the cell wall ka previous slide. So we completed with cell wall, we completed with glycocalyx, and we completed with the plasma membrane ka part somewhat. Abhi thoda plasma membrane ka part baki hai. But anyone having any difficulty till here? Okay. So then we come to something called as appendages. Appendages का मतलब होता है external structures which are going to be found on the bacterial cell. What are those? Bacterial cells may be motile or non-motile. If motile, they have thin filamentous extensions from their cell wall called as flagella. So you can see in this slide very well. This is the flagella. ये देखो, ये flagella है. Flagella may be present or it may not be present. Okay. वो important नहीं है कि भाई होना ही चाहिए. अगर नहीं है तो नहीं है. Then these bacteria are non-motile. Can anyone tell me if lactobacillus is motile or non-motile? Lactobacilli? Yeah, few are saying it's motile, few are saying it's non-motile. Lactobacillus is non-motile, beta. Lactobacillus do not have a flagella. Okay, they are non-motile. Fine. So because they lack a flagella, they are non-motile. Fine. But there will be some bacteria which are motile. If they are motile, they are going to have this flagella present in them. Okay. Well, so types of flagella and what are the names like atrichus, amphitrichus, peritrichus, lophotrichus, cephalotrichus. ये जो पूरे डिटेल्स है ना फ्लैजेला के बारे में वो हम बायोलॉजिकल क्लासिफिकेशन में वापस करने वाले हैं. फिलहाल आप इतना ही समझिएगा कि नॉन मोटाइल भी हो सकते हैं बैक्टीरिया, मोटाइल भी हो सकते हैं. If motile, they have thin filamentous extensions from their cell wall called as the flagella. So from where are the extensions coming out? They are coming out from the cell wall. Okay. Bacteria show a range in the number and arrangement of flagella. They could be 1 in number, 2 in number, or many in number. They could be found only on one side, on both the sides, all over the body. कैसे भी हो सकते हैं उनको. Bacterial flagellum is composed of 3 parts: filament, hook, and basal body. अब ये जो फिलामेंट, हुक और बेसल बॉडीज होते हैं ना, ये हमें अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप जो दिखता है ना, ये जो आपको दिखाई दे रहा है ना, दिस थिंग दैट यू कैन सी इज ओनली द फिलामेंट. द हुक एंड द बेसल बॉडी आर एम्बेडेड इनसाइड. तो जो दिख नहीं रहे हैं. ओके. तो ये इसका जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है ना, बेसल बॉडी का स्ट्रक्चर थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है. इट इज मेड ऑफ 2 rings or 4 rings and it will have a hook and it will have a filament. तो जो माइक्रोस्कोप के अंदर हमें दिखाई देता है, this thing that is coming out as a flagella is only the filament. तो हुक एंड बेसल बॉडी कैसे दिखता है ना, वो वाले चैप्टर में हम करेंगे, डिटेल में करेंगे. ओके. Appendages is the word that is used for legs of cockroach. Anything that is going to be present on the surface of the organism is called as appendage. ठीक है. Filament is the longest portion and extends from the cell surface to the outside. Besides flagella, even villi and fimbriae are also present as surface structures of the bacteria, but they do not play any role in motility. ये देखो, ये सबसे important point है. They do not play a role in motility. So villi and fimbriae are not associated with motility. ठीक है. Villi are elongated tubular structures made of special protein called as pillin, P-I-L-I-N. तो ये जो villi है ना, ये दिखाई दे रहे हैं ब्लैक कलर के. You can see them. ये ब्लैक कलर के ऐसे extensions आ रहे हैं. Those are the villi, and they are made up of special protein called as pillin. P-I-L-I-N. Pillin से बने हैं. Okay. What is the role of pillin? The role of villi is helping in conjugation. What is conjugation? Conjugation is a type of reproductive process seen in bacteria. तो reproduction के टाइम पे दो bacterial cells एक दूसरे के बहुत करीब आते हैं and they undergo conjugation. So ये conjugation efficiently करने के लिए villi forms a conjugation bridge. Okay, so I'll show you how does it actually look like. I'll show you how does it look like. So see, for example, this is one bacterial cell. This is another bacterial cell. बराबर. अब ये जो बैक्टीरिया है, ये वाला, ये जो बैक्टीरिया है, इसके ऊपर पिलाई है. ये जो बैक्टीरिया है, इसके ऊपर पिलाई नहीं है, है ना. So what has happened now? This pili is going to, इसके ऊपर जो पिलाई है, consider my finger to be the pili. Okay. So ये जो पिलाई है, ये पिलाई जो है ना, ये extend होगा और इसको ना अपने पास बुलाएगा. And now these two will be connected with the help of this pili. So this organism and this organism are going to be connected with each other via this pili. So this pili will now be called as conjugation bridge. क्या कहते हैं हम इसको? Conjugation bridge कहते हैं. और ये conjugation bridge के थ्रू इसका DNA, ये organism का DNA का एक कॉपी इस organism में जो plasmid है basically, that is copies of DNA होते हैं वो plasmid जो है ना, ये bridge के थ्रू इसमें चला जाएगा. So that is called as your sexual reproduction in bacteria. So how it is carried out? The plasmid, which is a piece of DNA present, it's an extra chromosomal DNA, वो मैं बताती हूँ. तो इसमें से जो plasmid है ना बेटा, इसमें से वो plasmid via the pili, which is now called as the conjugation bridge, will enter into this particular organism which does not have a plasmid. Okay, इसको हम कहते हैं conjugation. तो ये conjugation करने के लिए किसकी जरूरत होती है? pili की जरूरत होती है. Otherwise pili are not associated with anything called as motility. कोई रोल नहीं है उनका motility में, but conjugation कराने में इनका बहुत बड़ा रोल है. समझा? So that is about the pili. And pili are made up of a special protein called as pillin. Okay. Fimbriae, on the other hand, are small, they are numerous, and they are going to be fibers sprouting out of the cell. You can see those pink color ke cells, pink color ke threads coming out all over the body. है ना? Those are fimbriae. So in some bacteria, the fimbriae help in the attachment of the bacteria to the tissues of the host or to the rocks. मतलब अगर वो bacteria is going to be ubiquitous in nature. It is found everywhere. है ना, हर एक जगह पर आपको दिखाई देगा वो. अब अगर हमारे कभी कभी इन्फेक्शन होते हैं और थ्रोट इन्फेक्शन में ना बहुत गंदा वाला ऐसा इरिटेशन आ जाता है, यू एक्चुअली फील लाइक पुटिंग योर हैंड इनसाइड एंड स्क्रैचिंग योर थ्रोट. ऐसा कभी इन्फेक्शन हुआ है? इधर इधर गले में बहुत गंदा वाला खराश आ जाता है ना. या So why it is like that way? ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है that I feel like scratching my throat from inside when I'm having any throat infection? Why do I feel like that way? Because probably that particular bacteria has has got fimbriae which is holding my tissue so firmly, my epithelial tissue so firmly with its fimbriae कि ना मुझे उधर वो एक खराश क्रिएट हो रही है, वो फील हो रही है. And that time generally we drink hot water or we drink adrak wala juice or something like that way, cough syrup हम लेते हैं. So what is the use of that garam pani and all? They kill it also, and they loosen the grip of the fimbriae. तो पता है, अगर कभी भी अगर आपको दवाई नहीं खानी है ना, पेट के अंदर अगर दवाई नहीं खानी है, तो generally you are recommended by your elders, your parents or your grandparents, they will always say gargle with salt water, है ना. सॉल्ट वाटर के थ्रू गार्गलिंग करो करके कहते हैं. सो दैट गार्गलिंग विद सॉल्ट वाटर ना, ये जो अपेंडेजेस है ना वो लूज हो जाते हैं, एंड द बैक्टीरिया विल फॉल इनटू आवर एलिमेंट्री कैनाल. ओके, एंड व्हेन इट विल फॉल इनटू आवर एलिमेंट्री कैनाल, द pH of our stomach is so low that they are going to get killed. Problem is here. कोई gargling with salt water ये सब करते रहते हैं. So it is the fimbriae that are going to be helpful in holding the tissues of the host, or even they are going to actually, the function of fimbriae is to hold. That's it. Okay. So these are the three appendages that are going to be present in bacteria. Any doubts in this? Turmeric also, yes, bacha. Even it is antiseptic, as we say. What is your doubt, ma'am? This type of reproduction is sexual or asexual? It's sexual because there is going to be exchange of DNA. Okay. Well, now we come to the ribosomes. Now these ribosomes are of bacteria. Please don't mistake them with the ribosomes of eukaryotic cells. These are the ribosomes of the prokaryotic cells. Okay. What are they? Just see. The prokaryotic ribosomes are associated with plasma membrane of the cell. They are associated with the plasma membrane of the cell. Okay. In our body, they are associated with the endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, mitochondria of our cells. They are about 15 nanometer by 20 nanometer in size, and they are made of two subunits. You can clearly see the two subunits in this particular picture. You can see smaller subunit which is made up of 30S, and you can see a larger subunit which is made up of 50S. And here you can see an assembly of two, that is smaller and larger together, which is 70S. अब आपके दिमाग में आएगा 30 plus 50 is equal to 80, फिर उधर 70 क्यों लिखा है ना? Yeah, I'll talk about that also. सबसे पहले what is this 50, what is this 30, what is this S, वो सब बताती हूँ. Please understand that now. 50S and 30S units, when present together, they form 70S prokaryotic ribosome. Ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. Several ribosomes, when attached to the same molecule of mRNA, we call it as a polyribosomal condition, or we call it as a polysomal condition. So polyribosome या polysome कहते हैं. The ribosomes of a polysome translate the RNA into protein. तो ये होते हैं अपने ribosomes. अब इनमें से कुछ important points, S क्या होता है, ये 30 क्या है, ये 50 क्या है, इसको समझना है, right? Now, what are these ribosomes? सबसे पहले वो समझाती हूँ. It is nothing. Ribosomes are made up of only two things. Ribosomes are made up of only two things. One is the protein, and second is your RNA. क्या दो चीजें से बना है ये? प्रोटीन है और आरएनए है. ये दो चीजें जब इकट्ठा आ जाती है, एक साथ आ जाती है, तो उसको हम कहते हैं राइबोसोम का सब यूनिट. ओके. अब ये जो आरएनए होता है, ये 3 टाइप्स के होते हैं. I think you would be knowing this. One is the rRNA, one is the mRNA, one is the tRNA. 3 types of ribosomes have been found. Okay. rRNA का full form है ribosomal RNA. Means the RNA which is a part of the ribosome is your rRNA. ठीक है. Second is the mRNA. mRNA का full form है messenger RNA. ये जो मैसेंजर आरएनए है, व्हाट मैसेज डज इट गेट? सो द मैसेंजर आरएनए इज गोइंग टू ब्रिंग द मैसेज फ्रॉम द न्यूक्लियस which is containing your DNA. तो DNA का एक पार्ट, DNA का एक पोर्शन कॉपी करके mRNA साइटोप्लाज्म में आ जाता है इन यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स. प्रोकैरियोट्स में देयर इज नो न्यूक्लियस प्रेजेंट, सो सारा का सारा उसका DNA भी साइटोप्लाज्म में भी है, उसका mRNA में भी साइटोप्लाज्म में ही है. ओके, so what is the function of mRNA? To copy the information from DNA. Okay, to copy the information from DNA. अब DNA के ऊपर क्या information होता है बेटा? What will the DNA have? DNA will have nothing but A, T, G, C का combination. Correct है या नहीं? It is going to have nucleotides either made up of adenine, guanine, cytosine और thymine. ये चार का combination is going to be your DNA molecule. अब suppose DNA पे है AAA TTC. क्या है? AAA TTC. अगर ऐसा DNA के ऊपर सेगमेंट के ऊपर न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स प्रेजेंट है, तो ये mRNA क्या करता है ना, उसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री स्ट्रैंड बनाता है. कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री मीन्स A pairs with T, T pairs with A, C pairs with G, G pairs with C. तो इसको हम कहते हैं कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. एडेनिन एंड गुआनिन, एडेनिन एंड गुआनिन ये प्यूरीन कहलाते हैं. एंड साइटोसिन एंड थाइमिन ये पायरिमिडीन्स कहलाते हैं. डिटेल में कराऊंगी आगे वाले चैप्टर्स में, डोंट टेक टू मच ऑफ टेंशन. जिसमें राइबोसोम्स क्या होते हैं वो बता रही हूँ. ठीक है, अब देखो क्या हुआ. डीएनए पे है ए, तो एमआरएनए को टी बनाना चाहिए, बराबर है, करेक्ट, कॉपी करने के हिसाब से. बट क्या होता है ना बेटा, ये जो एमआरएनए होता है ना, आरएनएज में टी नहीं होता है, आरएनएज में थाइमिन नहीं होता है, आरएनएज में थाइमिन की जगह पर यूरासिल होता है. So what will happen? Whatever information is present on the DNA, the same information will be copied by the RNA. जहाँ T है वहाँ U आएगा, otherwise the sequence will be the same. ठीक है, तो actually speaking है ना, ये जो mRNA है ना, ये चोर है. mRNA कौन है? ये चोर है. ये क्या चुरा के लेके आता है बेटा? ये लेके आता है information from the DNA, चुरा के लेके आता है into the cytoplasm. अब ये mRNA के पास सारा का सारा डीएनए का इंफॉर्मेशन है और ये भागना चाहता है, लेकिन साइटोप्लाज्म में होता है ये राइबोसोम. राइबोसोम पुलिस है. राइबोसोम कौन है? पुलिस है. तो एज एंड व्हेन mRNA enters into the cytoplasm, the smaller subunit and the larger subunit of ribosomes उसको पकड़ लेते हैं. किसको पकड़ लेते हैं? उस चोर को पकड़ लेते हैं. कौन है चोर? चोर कौन है यहाँ पर? कौन है चोर बताओ? हु इज द चोर?
mRNA.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली ये राइट. तो ये जो mRNA का मॉलिक्यूल है, सपोज ये mRNA का मॉलिक्यूल है, हाँ, इसके ऊपर डीएनए का सारा इंफॉर्मेशन उसने चुरा के लेके आया है. अब इसको पकड़ने के लिए कौन आएगा? पुलिस आएगा. वो पुलिस का नाम क्या है? राइबोसोम. दो पुलिस आते हैं, एक मेन पुलिस और एक हवालदार, दोनों आते हैं, दोनों इसको पकड़ते हैं इधर से और इधर से. ओके, एंड व्हाटएवर इंफॉर्मेशन इज देयर इन दैट mRNA उसको एक्सट्रैक्ट करने लगते हैं, और एक्सट्रैक्ट करने के लिए, टू एक्सट्रैक्ट द इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम द mRNA, दे रिक्वायर अनदर पुलिसमैन जिसका नाम है tRNA. तो आप देखो, this is going to be your mRNA. mRNA has been sandwiched by your ribosome. Okay, राइबोसोम के साथ आ जाएगा आपका tRNA, एंड इंफॉर्मेशन सारी जो mRNA ने चुरा के लाई है डीएनए से will be executed, and that information will be executed in the form of protein. In this way protein synthesis होता है. समझ में आ गया क्या होता है? Understood what has happened? So first thing, डीएनए में से एक पोर्शन का कॉपी करके mRNA भाग रहा है. ये mRNA को राइबोसोम नाम के पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया. पकड़ के इसका सारा इंफॉर्मेशन उगालने के लिए, निकलवाने के लिए tRNA आ गया. Along with ribosome, along with tRNA, सारा इंफॉर्मेशन जो mRNA के पास था got converted into proteins. In this way protein synthesize हो गए. Okay. अब ये mRNA अगर बहुत लंबा मॉलिक्यूल है, if it's a very long molecule, तो एक पुलिस की जोड़ी कुछ काम की नहीं है. Okay, there will be several police officers sitting at different places continuously. So when one mRNA molecule will have many ribosomes present on it, we call it as a polyribosome या फिर polysome condition. Have you all understood? Full form of tRNA is transfer RNA. Full form of tRNA is transfer RNA. So whatever has to be, whatever information is there with mRNA, it has to be transferred in the form of proteins. So it's going to be your transfer RNA. So rRNA is ribosomal RNA, which is present inside the ribosome. mRNA is the messenger RNA, which is bringing all the information from the DNA. And tRNA is the transfer RNA, which will transfer the information of the mRNA into proteins. So in this way, our body is going to continuously make proteins. So we say ribosomes are called as the protein factories. Why are they called as the protein factories? Because these protein synthesis is taking place within that ribosome. Understood? So ये ribosome के दो units हैं, मैंने अभी बताया. One is 30S, one is 50S. So what do you mean by this 30S and what do you mean by this 50S? S over here for sedimentation coefficient, or it's called as Schwarzschild constant. What is it is going to be called as? Schwarzschild constant. So it's a sedimentation coefficient, or it's nothing but Schwarzschild constant. Fine. अब ये जो होते हैं, they are going to be dependent on their densities and size. So कितना S है? 30S है, 50S है, 40S है, 60S है, 100S है, 70S है, 80S है, अलग अलग होते हैं, है ना? तो ये जो typical S है, that depends on what? It depends on two things. So the RNA का sedimentation coefficient is dependent on two things. One is the size of the RNA molecule, and second is the density of the RNA molecule. That will decide the sedimentation coefficient. Okay. So in prokaryotic cells, always, forever, it's not going to change anytime. Remember that in prokaryotic cells, they always have 30S as the smaller subunit and 50S as the largest subunit. And when these two subunits are going to come together, they form 70S वाला ribosome. ये बात फिक्स करके रखिए बेटा माइंड में, इसमें कोई चेंज नहीं होता है. और जैसे ही 70S type is found in prokaryotes, 70S is also found in our mitochondria and chloroplast. तो ऐसे कहा जाता था पहले कि यूकैरियोटिक सेल ने प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल को खा लिया है, जिसका नाम है माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड क्लोरोप्लास्ट. तो बिकॉज प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल के जैसी सारी चीजें माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में और क्लोरोप्लास्ट में प्रेजेंट है ना, सो दे यूज्ड टू नो, लाइक ऐसे ही फन मोड पे कहते थे, जोकिंगली दे यूज्ड टू से दैट यूकैरियोटिक सेल ने प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल को खा लिया, because mitochondria may be 70S type of ribosomes present there, that is 30S and 50S type. Okay. Now I know this doubt is going to come. 750 के 50 plus 30 तो 80 होना चाहिए, तो ये मिस्टेक है क्या 70S वाली? ऐसा एक माइंड में आता है सब के. मिस्टेक कुछ नहीं है. It depends upon the sedimentation coefficient. So when they are together, their sedimentation coefficient is going to give us a value of 70 Schwarzschild constant. And so it is 70S. Okay. Similarly, in eukaryotic ribosomes, you will come across smaller subunit is 40S and larger subunit is 60S. So 40 plus 60 actually 100 होना चाहिए, लेकिन eukaryotic ribosome 80S का होता है, 100 का नहीं होता है. तो जब मैं eukaryotic ribosomes पढ़ाऊंगी ना, that time you will come to know. But prokaryotic का समझा that 30 plus 50 together when they come, it's going to be 70S and not 80S. Please don't make a blunder of writing 80S in your exam. Is it fine? I hope you all have understood this. So last point देखो, the the information of the mRNA into protein. ठीक है, so दो प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, एक होता है ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, एक होता है ट्रांसलेशन. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन का मतलब है mRNA इंफॉर्मेशन चुरा के ला रहा है, उसको कहते हैं ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. एंड चुराया हुआ इंफॉर्मेशन जब प्रोटीन्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, वी कॉल दैट प्रोसेस इज ट्रांसलेशन. So transcription and translation will be taught to you in your 12th standard syllabus, that is molecular basis of inheritance, one of the most beautiful chapters of your entire syllabus in genetics. Okay, so that time we'll be talking about it in details. Okay, so I hope you all understood what is a ribosome now. Is there any confusion with respect to ribosome still in your mind? है किसी को doubt ribosomes का? No? Oh, if no, then it's good. We go ahead with the next. The next thing that is going to be found in bacterial cells is going to be the inclusion bodies. What are inclusion bodies? So reserve food material or reserve material, not necessarily food also. Reserve material in prokaryotic cell is stored in the cytoplasm in the form of granules. And these granules are called as inclusion bodies. See, they are stored in the form of inclusion bodies. They are not bounded by any membrane system. They lie free in the cytoplasm. They are going to be in the form of granules. Example, phosphate granules, cyanophycean granules, glycogen granules. तो ये सारे जो granules हैं ना, जो prokaryotic cell में बने हैं और suspended हैं in the cytoplasm, उनको हम कहते हैं inclusion bodies. Okay. Gas vacuoles are found in blue green and purple green and green photosynthetic bacteria, which are also considered as your inclusion bodies. So vacuoles भी होते हैं कभी-कभी, and ये vacuoles are also coming under your inclusion bodies. Okay. So phosphate granules are also called as volutin granules, VOLUTIN. Second name of phosphate granules is volutin granules. Cyanophycean granules are the granules which are present in cyanobacteria. Glycogen granules, you know, glycogen is associated with sugars, है ना? So these type of things will be found suspended in the cytoplasm, which we saw, which was a blue color ka jelly-like fluid in which these inclusion bodies were placed. Okay, here we have not talked about plasmids, so I'll just tell you quickly what are plasmids. So you can see in the diagram. So here you can see in the diagram that is plasmids. So what are plasmids? Plasmids are extra chromosomal. Look at the definition first. Don't make a haste of writing. I'll dictate if you all want. Listen to me what I'm saying. That plasmids are, I'll write down. I'll write down on the board. Don't worry. Plasmids are extracellular, extra chromosomal, double-stranded, circular DNA molecules present only in prokaryotic cells. Plasmids are never going to be found in eukaryotic cells. Plasmids are exclusively found in prokaryotic cells. Okay, so they are going to be found in prokaryotic cells. Plasmids are of three types. That is, first one is going to be called as F plasmid. Second is called as R plasmid. And third is called as col plasmid. FRCOL col. Okay. अब इनका क्या रोल है? F plasmid stands for fertility. F plasmid stands for fertility. That means, now please understand this, if this F plasmid is present in the bacterial cell, only then they are capable of making pili. तो पिलाय कब बनेगा? जब F plasmid प्रेजेंट होगा तभी पिलाय बनेगा, नहीं तो पिलाय फॉर्मेशन नहीं होता है. ओके, सो इफ दैट F plasmid is present, only then pili will be formed. Now these plasmids have a speciality. What is the speciality of these plasmids? You know, the speciality of the plasmids is they are capable of self-replicating. So they can make whatever number of copies they want in one single cell of bacteria. तो यहाँ पर हमने प्लाज्मिड का एक ही कॉपी दिखाया है, बट ऐसे कितने भी कॉपीज वो अपने आप के बना सकता है, बिकॉज दे आर सेल्फ रेप्लिकेटिंग. फाइन. सो दिस सेल्फ रेप्लिकेटिंग डबल स्ट्रैंडेड एक्स्ट्रा क्रोमोसोमल molecular structures which are going to be found only in prokaryotes, उसमें से अगर F plasmid है तो pili formation will be initiated. Okay. Second type of plasmid is going to be your R plasmid. R stands for resistance. Now, what do you mean by this R? Resistance किसके against? So resistance against antibiotics. Many a times ऐसे होता है ना बेटा, that we are taking antibiotics and still we are not getting cured of our infection. ऐसे हुआ है कभी कि हमने इतने सारी दवाई ले ली लेकिन वो हमारी खांसी, बुखार, सर्दी जो भी हो रहा है, it is not going off. Why it is not going? Probably because those antibiotics which you are taking, they are of no use to that bacteria, because the bacteria has got resistance for that particular antibiotic. Okay, समझा? तो अगर for example ये bacteria जिसमें ये plasmid है, if it is a resistant plasmid for penicillin, then आप कितना भी penicillin की गोली खा लो, इसके ऊपर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So that is your R plasmid for resistance against antibiotics. Okay, and the third is the Col plasmid, COL. Col stands for colchicine. What do you mean by this? Suppose I've got an infection of A type of bacteria. I've got an infection of A type of bacteria, and B type of bacteria has now also entered in my system. A already है ना, मेरे throat infection हुआ है, A already है मेरे throat में, and now there is an entry of B type of bacteria. Now, if that A type of bacteria has got the Col plasmid in it, it will not allow the B type of bacteria to invade my area. समझ में आ गई बात? तो वो अपने ही relatives को अपने area में आने से रोक देता है. That is the Col plasmid. So if a person is having one type of bacterial infection, then that particular person is saved from having another type of infection if that A type has got a Col plasmid in it. Did you all understand what I'm trying to tell you? पक्का समझ में आ गया? तो इस तरीके से ना बेटा 3 types of plasmids होते हैं. अब ये जो plasmids है, they are very important. They are very important in biotechnology. Okay? ये बहुत ज़्यादा बायोटेक्नोलॉजी में इफेक्टिव है. हम जब बायोटेक पढ़ेंगे ना इन आर कमिंग डे, like lectures will be going ahead with biotech also, तो उसमें जो है ना ये प्लाज्मिड्स का बहुत ज़्यादा यूज होता है. वी आर वेरी स्मार्ट ना, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर वेरी स्मार्ट, सुपर ब्रेन. हाँ, हम उस बैक्टीरिया के प्लाज्मिड को भी हम छोड़े नहीं है, उसको भी हमने टेक्निकली यूज करके अपना काम कर लिया. देखो, ओके. हाँ, can a bacterium have all the 3 plasmids? Yes, they can have all the 3 plasmids. There is no issue. Okay. You want me to explain Col plasmid? Col plasmid is very simple. Very simple. Okay. Suppose I have got an infection of Staphylococcus. Staphylococcus नाम का एक organism है. Coccus है, round in structure. मुझे Staphylococcus का infection हुआ है. अब ये स्टेफाइलोकोकस के अंदर ये कॉल प्लाज्मिड है. ओके. और मुझे कहीं से इन्फेक्शन हुआ स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस का. सो नाउ यहाँ पर स्टेफाइलोकोकस अपना घर बनाए बैठा है, एंड नाउ हु इज टेकिंग एन एंट्री? स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस इज टेकिंग एन एंट्री. नाउ एज एंड व्हेन स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस विल टेक एन एंट्री, इवन स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस वांट टू lodge over here. Both are going to cause upper respiratory tract infection. Staphylococcus also causes upper respiratory tract infection, and Streptococcus also causes upper respiratory tract infection. Okay, तो अभी क्या हो गया बेटा? Now Staphylococcus is already there, and Streptococcus wants to enter inside, and उसको भी घर जमाना है वहां पर, उसका राज बना, राइट? या फिर दोनों ही इन्फेक्शन कॉज कर सकते थे साइमल्टेनियसली, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. लेकिन if the Staphylococcus has got a Col plasmid inside it, then the Streptococcus will be killed. The Streptococcus will not be allowed to settle there. समझ में आ गया? So Col plasmids will not allow its, like उनके ही भाई बहनों को अंदर आने से और या फिर उधर अपना राज बनाने से रोकता है. Fine. That is the role of col plasmid. And any bacteria can have any any type of plasmids in it. There could be all of three also present in it. There could be any number of plasmids that they want could be present in it, because they are self-replicating. Okay, self-replicating means they'll not wait for the bacteria to divide into two daughter cells and then they will get distributed. No. In one bacterial cell only they can make even 20 to 100 copies. 100 copies बना सकते हैं अपने आप के वो. Imagine कीजिए. And that is the thing which is useful for our human biotechnology. We have made use of plasmids because of this nature, that they can self-replicate. Fine. Okay, so that is all about your plasmids. Any confusion, any doubts in plasmids? Is it good or bad? It's good for the bacteria. Bad for us. But now we have overcome this problem by taking a third generation, fourth generation antibiotics. Now we take multi antibiotics. एक ही नहीं लेते हैं. It's a combination of 3-4 antibiotics together. और इसीलिए कहते हैं ना कि antibiotic का course complete करना चाहिए. I've got so many patients who come to me. I give them a recommended course of 5 days. Within 2 days they feel better. From the third day they stop taking the medicines and again come to me after 1 month saying कि अभी भी ठीक नहीं हुआ. When I ask, have you taken the entire 5-day का course? नहीं, शायद लास्ट 2 दिन का नहीं लिया होगा, बिकॉज तब मैं ठीक हो गई थी ना, तो आई थॉट इट्स नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग क्यों लेना है. दैट इज रॉन्ग. दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. You have to complete the course, because what will happen if you don't complete that particular course, तो एक हाथ दूसरा अगर कोई ऐसा बैक्टीरिया है जो एस्केप कर रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द प्लाज्मिड्स, उसको पूरी तरह से किल करने के लिए 5 दिन चाहिए. तो इसीलिए ये कोर्स होता है ना, 5 डेज का कोर्स होता है, कभी कभी 7 डेज का कोर्स होता है, कभी 10 डेज का भी होता है, कभी 3 डेज का होता है. सो एज योर डॉक्टर इज गोइंग टू रिकमेंड यू ना, प्लीज कंप्लीट दैट एंटीबायोटिक कोर्स. जस्ट बिकॉज एक डोज लेके आप ठीक हो गए तो यू डोंट कंटिन्यू, डिसकंटिन्यू आपके मर्जी के हिसाब से. डोंट डू लाइक दैट. दैट्स अ वेरी बैड थिंग. ओके, या आई राइट डाउन व्हाट इज अ प्लाज्मिड का डेफिनेशन में लिखती हूँ. आई राइट टू यू ऑल, डोंट वरी. Yeah. Double stranded circular self-replicating DNA molecules found please remember they are found only in prokaryotes. Okay, they are not found anywhere else. They are exclusively found in prokaryotes only. Then we write down the types, the 3 types. Make it black, na? That is better. ये F जो है ये स्मॉल लिखना है बेटा, कैपिटल नहीं लिखना है. F plasmid that is equal to fertility factor, that is पिलाई फॉर्मेशन होने के लिए. अगर ये है तो ही पिलाई फॉर्मेशन होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. The second one is going to be your R plasmid, that is resistance against antibiotics. Okay. Bacteria can survive in the presence of all plasmid containing bacteria. Okay, so these are the definitions and the overall thing that I talked about the plasmids. Okay, so plasmids are extra chromosomal double-stranded circular self-replicating DNA molecules found only in prokaryotes. The three types are F plasmid for fertility factor. If the F plasmid is present, there will be formation of pili. R plasmid is for resistance against antibiotics, and col plasmid is for colicine. That is, no other related bacteria can survive in the presence of col plasmid containing bacteria. Fine. So, is there any difficulty in understanding whatever we have done till now? With this, we complete the prokaryotic cell. We have to go ahead with the eukaryotic cell. Relative bacteria. Yes, only the relative bacteria. Fine. इसलिए वो relative मैंने डाला है वहाँ पर. Okay. Yeah. So that's all with prokaryotes. We have to go ahead with eukaryotes. I'm not starting with the eukaryotes now. It's already almost 12. And tomorrow morning, exactly at 7:30, I'm going to go ahead with the most important part of the eukaryotic cell. It is not explained very well in your textbooks. It's not given in detail in your textbook. So we are going to go much more in details and understand the things very precisely. So please be, sure that you all will join by 7:30. Fine. Last week, I think there were few absentees for the morning lectures. So that is not going to be accepted, बेटा. आप थर्सडे का लेक्चर अटेंड करोगे और फ्राइडे का लेक्चर अगर मिस करोगे ना, तो वो मॉर्निंग है इसलिए तो आपका कनेक्टिविटी चला जाएगा, आपके मार्क्स के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ेगा. Okay, you won't be able to get through the sections of the missed lectures. If you feel हम लोग वीडियो लेक्चर्स देखकर उसको cope up कर लेंगे, so that's not the ideal thing to do. Fine. So please don't be lethargic, don't be lazy, wake up early and be in time for tomorrow's lecture. So Friday lectures are always going to be at 7:30. There is no change in the timing. So please don't miss those lectures saying कि नींद नहीं पूरी हो गई, खत्म नहीं हुई, उठे ही नहीं, alarm ही नहीं बजा. All those things are not going to be accepted. So I want all the full, attendance tomorrow as well. What do you mean? Means others can survive. Others can. जो relative नहीं है वो survive कर सकते हैं. Right. Fine. चलिए. So let's see you tomorrow at 7:30. Okay. Any doubts still? Can I wind off? Okay. Bye.